what I love about baseball is every game is different. You can go see the two best starters in the National League and think it's going to be 1-0 today, and by the second inning it's 7-3. One of the starters is out. Here comes the middle reliever who locks the game down. The team comes back. It's like going to see a movie with the same setup. Like, Joe Mantegna in the Mob movie. You think, okay, I kind of know how this is going to go, and it ends up being like a rom-com. You know what I mean? It ends up being like a totally opposite movie. I love that about baseball, that it's never quite what you think it's going to be, and every game's always a different adventure.
Anything can happen.
I don't think I've ever seen the same baseball game twice, which is amazing. And I've certainly seen the same soccer game twice, the same NFL game twice. We've all seen the 37-34 NFL shootout. Oh my God, he made the catch. Only baseball does what baseball does. And what I love, one last thing, is even though it's a team sport, there's something about the mano-a-mano of the pitcher-hitter. That headspace, check your ego at the door. I'm going to beat you by throwing smoke.
Tell me about the National Wrestling Alliance, your history with that. How did you get into that?
Sure. Oldest wrestling organization in the world, started in 1948, so this is our 75th year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Obviously, I wasn't around for all 75, at least not that I remember. It was basically sort of a brand that in many eyes had seen their best days behind them. I bought it sort of on the bottom and have built it back up to where it's respected again. And we're running shows all over the world. We just ran shows in Australia and Mexico, and pretty crazy business to be in. But obviously a lot of connection there between sports, because you're dealing with athletes and sort of how to build the team. And so I think back a lot of things, how I perceived as a fan, sports cultures and what were winning cultures. And I've tried to build that with my organization.
This segment of Hollywood and Ivy is brought to you by the Salsa King of Chicago. Welcome back to Hollywood and Ivy. Today we're visiting with Billy Corgan. What Cubs team is most near and dear to your heart? Which really captures your soul as a Cub fan? Who do you love the most as far as New York?
1978 Chicago Cubs.
Oh, really? Why is that?
I think that was the year, so I would have been about 10, 11 years old. That's where I really fell in love with baseball at a deeper level. I was playing baseball all the time as a kid. I loved who was on the team. It was a terrible team. So I had to really lean into why I love baseball with a terrible team. Where a lot of my friends weren't Cubs fans because they didn't want to watch a team that was losing. I sort of watched between the cracks of the things, and I tried to find things that I could attach to, like the way somebody played the game, or somebody who wasn't expected to have a great game sort of surpassed the expectation or something. So that's the team, I think, from my childhood. And I actually have one of those classic photos that they used to put out with all the guys' faces that they'd sell at a gas station. I have that in my home.
The 78 Cubs.
The 1978 Chicago Cubs.
Wow, the year you became a Cub fan.
No, I was a Cubs fan going about 72, 73. I had no
Gotcha.
choice because of my grandmother,
Right.
Conchetta. But what I'm saying is that's the year I took possession as a person of my love for the Cubs and
Right.
my love of Wrigley Field and my love of the game of baseball. Harry Carey, the great, obviously St. Louis Cardinals, Chicago White Sox, and eventually the Chicago Cubs, Hall of Fame broadcaster, one of the greatest ever. Harry Carey used to say, "Isn't it amazing that whoever decided, that it was going to be 90 feet from home to first, isn't it amazing that no one's ever figured out how to beat that?" Meaning a routine ground ball still almost always results in an out. Like the physics of baseball is so perfect.
It really is.
And I think I'll defer to Harry here, who obviously saw a lot more baseball than I did. When Harry Carey would talk about baseball being the perfect game, and Vince Scully, that's what they were talking about. It's already perfect. Leave that part alone.
Right. So you're a big Harry Carey fan. Did he ever try and spell Smashing Pumpkins backwards? That would have been interesting to hear that. Were you ever on the air with him? And Billy?
I wasn't famous enough during the Harry years to land in the booth with them. When the band started taking off in '91 to his last year, I was on the road. I think I'll give you the first 3 Smashing Pumpkins tours: 14 months, 14 months, and 22 months.
Oh my God.
Not a lot of time for baseball.
Right. You've sang the seventh inning stretch before at Wrigley Field. Is that
Poorly,
right?
yeah, poorly, yes.
Poorly?
In fact, I sang, did you know this? I sang the seventh inning stretch at Game 7 after the Bartman game.
Oh, my goodness.
And the story on that was the day of Game 6, the Cubs called me and said, we don't think there's going to be a Game 7, but if there is a Game 7, will you sing?
Yes.
So I was already booked the day of the Bartman game. I went to the Bartman game, saw it live, heard the satanic roar start up as every Cubs fan in the universe figured out the curse is back, baby.
You just felt it. It's crazy.
Okay, I'm a musician, right?
Right. The energy.
I listen to crowds to key off,
Yeah.
is this weird music I'm playing working? If you're in a weird band like I am, you pay particular attention to the sound of the
Yes.
crowd.
Try to gauge the...
So I'm going to do a very poor imitation.
Okay.
Okay. I am along the right field line, pretty close to the Marlins bullpen.
Yes.
I'm watching the body language inning to inning,
Yeah.
and they're walking like this, Eeyore, because they're going to lose.
Right.
And they are going to lose.
Yes.
The Cubs are. They're
Mark
the team.
Pryor was not going to be beat.
Not that Mark
No.
Pryor. No, sir. So here comes the play. And by the way, ironically, I'd been out the night before with Moises Alou. Don't ask me how I was in that particular movie. Right?
Yes.
And he went home early because he had a big game the next
Right.
day. So there's my friend Moises, who I was just hanging out with.
Yeah.
Here he comes. Up, Bartman, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
The rest is history. Okay. You hear, whoa, crowd noise.